What's up, Heather?
What's up, B?
So I've been thinking.
Oh, God, that's dangerous.
That happens. Probably see smoke in my ears. If I had a key to a rick house, I'd be dangerous.
You are already dangerous. All you need is a credit card and a bourbon aisle.
I just need it not to have my name on the credit card. That's
Hasn't stopped you yet, though.
Nope.
But giving you a key to a rick house, I would literally give it an hour before you were swimming in a barrel.
Yeah, probably. But look, if John E. Fitzgerald could do it, so can I. Today we're drinking his namesake bourbon, Larceny, the only bottle on the shelf that brags about federal crimes.
And we're putting two expressions head to head, the Larceny Small Batch versus a private barrel pick that might steal the show.
Absolutely. So look, if you're new here, if you've kind of just wandered into this barrel with us, just go ahead and click that like and subscribe button right there. Just click it. We do this 3 times a week. We do bourbon reviews, bourbon history, and occasionally a public meltdown from me when Heather tries to bring things like vodka on the set.
He also just likes to melt down in general. So.
Yeah.
Follow us on all the socials, guys. I want to hear from you. I want to connect with you. I love when you send me messages. It's so fun.
She wants to talk. That is a true statement. I want to drink, so let's do that.
Well, first I have to talk because it's a show.
Okay, fine.
On that note, time for a little history with Heather, your favorite part of the show. Here's the backstory behind Larceny, y'all. Because in Kentucky, no bourbon gets bottled without a legend to go with it.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Bourbon can't exist unless there's a haunted warehouse, a horse racing gambler, or a Civil War soldier, or a ghost involved.
Or Paul Revere chugged it on his way to warn them about the British. Yeah, it's insane.
Probably won the Battle of 1812 or whatever it was.
I think it won.
The War of 1812, yes.
Yes, the whole war.
Didn't win the Battle of 1812. It won the War of 1812.
Whole war. So in this case, our hero, or our villain, depending on your point of view, is John E. Fitzgerald. And I'm going to guess John Fitzgerald Kennedy was not named after him.
Could have been buddies. I'm not sure. I'm kind of older than him.
He predates him by a little bit. Anyway, John Fitzgerald here was a treasury agent in the late 1800s. One of the very few people who were allowed to have keys to federally bonded rick houses. Can you imagine signing up for that job?
Well, Kennedy's family did make a lot of money running liquor.
That's true.
So there could be a connection.
And everything else.
Yeah.
So it might be. Yeah. That'd be pretty funny, actually.
But instead of just guarding the barrels, Fitzgerald decided to audit them with his mouth and taking a little bourbon here or there.
Here or there, just a little bit.
bit.
So legend says
Of course, there's a legend.
Well, of course.
Yep.
What would it be if there wasn't? Vodka.
That's true. Vodka.
So legend says he only sampled the best barrels. A lot. Heaven Hill took that criminal behavior and they turned it into a whole brand.
How would he know which ones are the best without sampling all?
He's thorough and talented. So he'd circle back.
He'd circle back
to the best ones, I guess. I don't know.
There's one thing.
You can't dig too deep into these legends, okay? They don't hold up.
I mean, when they were interviewing, so now that we're arresting you, I only drank the good stuff.
Oh, well. We can spin this, guys.
Yeah. If there's one thing that bourbon marketers love more than oak and corn, it's a good redemption arc. Hey, y'all, this guy was a thief, but classy.
They even named it Larceny. No subtlety whatsoever here. Not Heritage Reserve or Old something, just straight up felony. Apparently, if you steal bourbon, but you have good taste and the distillery can profit from it, it's all good.
Yeah. And of course, we go buy it. Because,
all the time.
Let's be real, bourbon always leans hard into some ridiculous legend. If your label doesn't include a war or a scandal or at least a mysterious disappearance, doesn't sell.
It does not. It's boring. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be magic barrels that the preacher left out that only burned on the inside.
I love how there's no in between. It's either
a fire,
magic barrels and drinking it at Valley Forge, or the new school is just kind of like, here's our bourbon, here's the mash bill, here's the age statement, drink it or don't. And it's like there's no in between.
No in between.
It's like one or the other. And sometimes the legend's fun.
Yeah, of course.
Honestly, our show would be a little more boring without all the legends.
Some people think it's boring now.
That's true.
Well, they don't have to watch.
They don't. They still hit like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Maybe just play in the background sometimes, you know? So Larceny is made, like we said earlier, by Heaven Hill. It is one of the last major family-owned distilleries left. They make some very, very little-known products like Elijah Craig and Henry McKenna and Evan Williams, and also our charming little thief here.
It's distilled at the Bernheim Distillery in Louisville and bottled in Bardstown. If you're wondering about Bernheim, that is the weeded mash bill of Heaven Hill. So
yes,
that traces its links to things like Old Fitzgerald and Pappy Van Winkle and the Heaven Hill 19 year that we sampled. And you can find the link right above the halo here. So this has got it. That's where their lineage comes from with this type of
It's pretty solid
bourbon.
lineage.
Yeah, very weeded. So both these bottles today, they've got the same mash bill. You got 68% corn, 20% wheat, and 12% malted barley.
So, like we've said before, and if you want to see our first deep dive into wheated, click up
right
here.
above the horns.
When you swap,
My little devil.
how did I go from a halo to horns that fast? Anyway, swapping rye for wheat makes for a softer, sweeter profile. It's what gives bourbons like Larceny their approachable charm. It's less pepper, more bread, pastry sort of vibe.
Yeah, what is it? They told us at Hoppy, if you think wheat, think sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if
rye is spice, wheat is sweet.
Spice, yeah. So if you're used to rye forward spice bombs, this should be a little more easy drinking, kind of like a warm cinnamon roll instead of a pepper grinder.
So we're going to start with the Larceny Small Batch. This is what I call the regular Larceny.
Yeah.
I have kind of my own names for these things sometimes. So this one is available pretty much everywhere, and it's an easy intro to wheated bourbon. Proof is 92, so pretty approachable.
Yep.
There's no age statement, but most people believe it's between 6 and 8 years. The nose, do you want to smell it, B, while we talk about it? The nose should give us caramel, butterscotch, and fresh baked bread. The palate should give vanilla, honey, and light roasted nuts. And the finish should be medium with lingering sweetness and a soft wheat touch.
I do smell the caramel.
Caramel, cinnamon, vanilla. It's a very classic bourbon smell.
It's good smelling.
It is good smelling.
It is considered an everyday pour, friendly, affordable, kind of a porch swing and sunset vibe.
So chill.
Named after a thief. Yeah, absolutely. Then we're going to jump to the private barrel pick. This is same mash bill, but it's a single barrel, and this one is bottled at 92 proof, just like its brother over here.
So every one of these is unique. They're each a different barrel, and they're each a different proof. So they're each going to bring you a different experience. Ours comes in, like B said, at 92 proof, which is the same as the small batch that we have. So the nose on this one should be a richer caramel compared to the first. So I'm going to smell it. I would agree with that. It's a deeper caramel smell. You should also get some dark fruit, baking spice, and toasted oak. Don't you think it's a deeper? Oh, this is a new method. I haven't seen this method before. This is new.
I agree that it has a little stronger scent to it.
Okay. So the palate should give us bold vanilla. Bold.
Arrgh.
Bold.
Arrgh.
Like a pirate?
Yeah.
Are pirates particularly bold?
Arrgh. Vanilla. Arrgh.
Cinnamon, cherry, and some chocolate depending on the barrel.
Arrgh.
I want the chocolate barrel.
Yeah, no kidding. And the finish should be long, layered, maybe with a little more oak than the regular small batch. This is considered the good stuff. Maybe this is what Fitzgerald was stealing for himself. We'll see.
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know if they were making weeded bourbon then.
I think
have
it's
no
supposed
idea.
to be a little more complex, but we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see, because we know if it's complex. I'm going to say the word complex.
You are. It's your favorite word.
I do like that word. It's not as good as viscosity. You know?
SAT word. That's what we're here for.
Now, are you ready to taste?
I'm ready to taste.
Okay. We'll start with a small batch. So again, we're supposed to get very, very, very classic bourbon nose and palate. You've got the cinnamon, the vanilla. It's a classic everyday pour. It is what it's supposed to be. It's very drinkable. It has a little spice at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a weeded that has no bite at the end of it. The vanilla is strong to me in this one. That time on the finish, I did get that wheat. The little touch of wheat at the end. On the chew.
I gotcha. In that back bowler?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's a doggle hunt. I mean, it's...
And that's what they mean it to be.
Yeah, we've kept a bottle of Larceny here
Since
I've lived here. I mean,
time immemorial. Yeah,
it's just here.
Yeah. It's always a solid choice.
Yeah.
And it's pretty affordable.
Yeah.
It's like, what is the small batch? I was trying to remember.
It's less than 30.
I thought so. I thought it was.
Now it used to be less than 20.
Wow. I don't remember those olden days.
It wasn't that long ago.
Back when we first started drinking it after it was a gift, we could get a bottle for $18.95. I think it's
nice.
I can look up the price if you want, but I think it's around $24.95.
That sounds right. It's absolutely a doggle hunt.
Mm.
It's a solid pour. I'm excited to taste we've had this private single barrel for a little while, but we hadn't cracked it because we were waiting to do this episode for all of you fine folks.
That's the only reason we drink bourbon.
Yeah, we never drink it apart from filming.
Nope. Ever.
Okay, Pinocchio.
Mm.
So this does have a stronger, like we talked about earlier, I do think it's a richer is the better word, a richer caramel smell.
I'll go with that.
I think it has just a richer smell altogether. That has less spice to it. It's smoother to me. It's smoother and slightly less spicy at the end.
It is less spicy. I'll agree with that. I'll go with smooth. Yeah, we can say that too.
Yeah.
Well, you can say what you want. But I agree with that.
Yeah, cosign. That is easy to sip.
Yeah. Now, I don't think either one are overly sweet.
This one tastes a little bit sweeter to me than the first one. I mean, like, again, caveat, you're never going to drink bourbon thinking you're going to taste like straight sugar. When we say sweeter, this is very marginal increments.
Mm-hmm.
But...
Well,
what do you think?
I'm not turning it down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that it elevates itself to... It's a well-trained dog.
I think it's slightly above the small batch, but not like night and day.
And to be clear, we didn't pay any more for it than, I mean, maybe $1.
I couldn't remember what we paid for it, to be completely honest.
We paid, it was about the same as a regular. So price-wise.
Regular is $29.95 now.
Wow. It has gone up.
According to the ABC.
Wow, it's gone up.
Inflation's a son of a gun.
Yeah, it's gone up. It's gone up quite a bit.
I think we paid around $30 for this.
Yeah, so I'm saying it was competitively priced at that, and it was intentionally done with no markup. I can tell you that. I love the name on it, Happy's Holy Grail. They did a really good job with that.
They did,
and I think it's very good. I think at its price point, if they're both $30, I would definitely grab this one. Absolutely. You have a choice. And
it's kind of cool, though, that they're each going to taste different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, which is kind of fun. So, in conclusion, we've got a good wheated bourbon. Mm-hmm. If you're getting into wheated bourbons, that's approachable and affordable. Yeah. And it's a good competitor. I would say I like it a little better because, Maker's Mark is kind of our other example of well-priced wheated. And I would say between the two, I prefer Larceny. I do too. Yeah. There's some people who will come at us for that. I know. We're not dissing Maker's Mark. Well, don't come for us. They will come at you. Oh, I love how it's me. It's me they're coming for. Us. They'll come at anyone. Come at you. That's true. It's true. Yeah, That's true. They're defensive. They like their makers. They have some loyal, they're a proud community. They have some loyal people. So, all right. Well, this is only part 1 of Larceny. Our next episode, I think we're tasting R2D2 and C3PO. We're turning up the proof points with some weird coding system. We hope you'll join us on our next episode of Larceny. The little thief. That could. So bizarre. On that note, cheers y'all.